Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nick, man, coming back one more time. Just to add to what we was talking about last time, man, about the wars and everything, about how they have just been basically on this land trying to conquer, man. I got some shit today that's gonna basically show you that's all they want to do, and they got documentation, and they hold this shit to be true today. They still, even today, man, you'll hear them mention these terms and reference these things. That's because they acting in this accord, man. And I'm trying to tell you, man, these people they wicked, they evil, but they feel like they got a reason to do it, you know. I'm gonna get back into it though, man. Basically, we left off last time, man. We had covered all of this from 1776, and I think we made it down to like 1825 or 1826 or so. 1825 with the Yellowstone expedition. But man, I want to go back up here for a second, man, and go back to the War of 1812, man. Because if you see, man, you'll see what they talk about the Creek War and also the Seminole Wars right here. These wars was basically like I had said, if you look at the national anthem, you'll see that it's more than one part for one, and it's got like 3 other parts, and basically they reference the Braves a lot. You know, I had made a Facebook post trying to tell people about how we in Atlanta, the people in Atlanta, man, we got a real strong passion to our city. Everybody around Atlanta, man, they love their city. That's one thing that they do. They love their city. And it ain't from, and it's been that way since we were young. We've always loved our hood. We've always loved the street, anything. I mean, we're very territorial. But the thing about it is, man, is that it's a reason for that. And I was trying to tell folks, man, you know, you got to understand, man, it's bigger than just what you think, than propaganda and all that stuff, man, because this go back from our family days and beyond that, man. We've been here. We ain't, and most people that surround this area, they haven't really known nothing about slavery. We consider ourselves to be, you know, like top-notch people, because we ain't never been, our family ain't never told no history of that shit, and we know that. But see, it's been all this propaganda from these school teachers that be trying to tell us, oh, y'all people used to be slaves before y'all knew. Before y'all knew this, before y'all knew that. You know, because after about 2 or 3 generations, man, you don't really remember a lot about what done happened. You might have some records here and there, but it's especially when you got people coming to you and telling you lies to make you forget some of the things that may have been true. Then you get stuck in the zone of imagination, which they purposely want you to be in. But basically, man, I was having a conversation with my one of my good friends, man. He's a older cat. He's about 50. He's in his 50s, man, and I've been knowing him my whole life. I look up to him, man, because he's real knowledgeable. He got a lot of good knowledge that me and him talk about sometimes, time to time. And we was talking about the Indian caste system and everything. Now, if you know anything about the people over there in India, you know that they have a caste system that they have still to this day. And a lot of people are unaware of it. But basically, man, this caste system, they measure you off of your skin. Now, we sitting here thinking that they psychologically do it, but they really doing it really on paper to us. But these people over there, they have a custom, they have a culture that is set up, and it is depicted based off of your skin color. So what they do is they have children, from the time that they're young, they will sit back and practice rubbing their skin so it'll never get dark. And they'll hide their skin and keep it that way they can show their light skin, because light skin is supposed to be, it's promoted as something special over dark skin. Now you basically, now our people had the caste system. You're gonna see that they're gonna try to, when you look into it, they're gonna try to make references to it back in the ancient Egyptian days, and then they're gonna have some, and I even seen one that had made a reference to it had made a reference to the let me see if I can get over here to it. But it had made a reference to the Mayans, you know. But see, man, basically this is what they are, man. Like this is the Egyptian one right here. You know, they're gonna have their little colored in drawings and stuff right here. But and then we got the Mayan one right here. These are the Mayans. But see, what you would have is like you had different classes of people in different structures and stuff like that. Now they didn't base it upon their skin color because they was all the same color. They was all different, just different people from different lineage, from their family powers and stuff like that, man. It wasn't nothing to do with all their skin color and stuff. And you just had people in different positions. You could rise or fall based off of you. You know, it wasn't all about your skin color. It didn't become until the 1600s. That's when they started introducing it into India, you know, because you got these Indian castes, and they basically, man, you know what I mean? You had these people, if you look down here at the bottom, you got the untouchables, and the untouchables are the outcasts, you know. They basically people that you cannot, you know, they're just nothing.
Everybody in life gets one chance. Everybody. Dark, fair, otherwise. The fair people get the chance earlier than the dark people.
Why do Indians desire fair skin? Is it a sign of racism?
It has to do with colonialism. It has to do with, the Aryans coming to India and taking over the subcontinent. It has to do with, caste relationships of power.
Is it a legacy from history?
Why does a woman use a lipstick? Makes her look more attractive, makes her feel confident, and makes her feel good about herself. If a fairness cream makes you feel better, there is no harm, I think.
Or is it simply a concept of beauty? A slew of factors drive the obsession for fair skin in India. Its booming skin whitening industry has long capitalized on women's desire to be fair. In recent times, even men are spending big to lose a few shades of tan. I'm Fauzia Ibrahim. On this edition of 101 East, we ask, can there be fairness in India without fair skin? Chantal Cho reports.
But see, the thing is that they psychologically making the people over there believe that the skin color is a curse and stuff like that, man. So, but our people don't understand. The people that's around this area, they basically were dark-skinned people in the 1600s, and we know this, and there's a lot of different documentations of different people, some places, but then you got these lighter-skinned people that came along, and now today, when you look at what's going on today, this ain't something that have just, you know when it started, all right? We know that it started in the 1600s, and it's only been 400 years, and 400 years later, a little over 400 years, what they are still doing is practicing these same things, all right? Now, they practicing this custom based off of skin, so it don't take a rocket scientist to understand that they didn't just adopt this shit 25, 30 years ago and say, oh, well, now we're going to base it off of skin. But that was just something that I had spoke with him about, man, and we was, we was talking, and we collaborate on research a lot of times, man, but it's good that you do that, man. Speak to your elders, speak to the people that got their eyes and ears open, man, because a lot of people out here right now sleep. And you got to understand that they ain't got no intentions of waking up, and some people don't want to. They just want to live their life, and they just waiting to die, man, you know. They don't care about helping nobody do anything else. But there's something else that I want to add in real quick, man, before I get back on to the subject. This right here, man, these are the treaties. I had talked to you about them last time, man, and I just wanted to show you the severity of this, man. Like you see my little ball over here. See how I'm almost at the top. Now these are the outside treaties, and most of these was made in the 1900s and everything like that. You see, they started getting all of these right here. But these are the outside treaties, and then you got a couple of them up in the 1800s, and then they go to talking about some fake stuff or whatever. All right, but you look at my little cursor over here, man. Basically, all of this from right here, those are the wars that they had did on the outside, outside of America. Now everything else, man, from here down. Now they are listed a little bit bigger, as you can see, or whatever. But just check it out, man. From here down, they got a whole lot of wars, and I mean we ain't even made it to the 1820s yet. Now, all these treaties. We hadn't even made it to the 1830s. And I mean, you name it. These are Indian tribes. Let me slow down so you can see it. These are all the Indian tribes that they made treaties with, because why they was fighting with them the whole time. So they went in and started making these false ass treaties and started, they don't tell you about the $5 Indians. They tell you about them motherfuckers. And they don't want to tell you about all these other treaties that they made. Now, you'll see a number of different treaties with different people because they never did represent. They knew the one nation did not represent them all. So you would make all these different treaties with these different people. And then they was breaking treaties at the same time. So you had a lot of different shit that was going on, man. You get back over here to, 1850s, and they still making treaties, all the way down here to the 1860s, 1870s. Man, the list goes on and on and on. And you see how far we done scrolled, man. And we get way down here. I don't really know what all this is, man. A lot of this look like it's blank. Basically, man, 1904, you see they pretty much, it stops. That's basically, that's the last of their treaties, man. But they really stopped fighting around. They didn't make no more treaties around 1800, man. I mean the 1900s. They pretty much stopped it. This right here is the doctrine of discovery, man. Like, people gotta understand that this right here is very important. This is basically the sole backbone to their whole theory and everything. I mean, if you look at the mentality of the people today, man, they, you white people, man, they go out here and they preach Christ and Christian and this and that to you, and they would look at you as if you are lesser of a person if you don't accept the faith of Christ. They ain't out here just killing people at the stake like they was when they first got here, because they done that already. They have made sure that your mind has been destroyed and that you feel like this is what they are on. But basically, man, the doctrine of discovery, it was something that was made between the Pope, Nicholas V, and King Alfonso V of Portugal. These two people, man, they got together and basically decided that anybody who wasn't a Christian, there was a war against them. Anybody throughout the whole world, any land that they go out here and they discovered that they had the right to conquer it, and they was basically saying that this was divine power of them. They had the divine right from the Pope. You know, they see the Pope as the divine person of God. So this is why they say they had divine right. All right, the Pope had issued a letter saying that they can go out here, a decree saying that you can go conquer anything that you want in the name of Christ. Anybody that was not a Christian could be put to death, perpetual slavery, anything. You know, you name it. You had the rights to discover any country, any place that was out there. All right. And in 1492, 1492, you know, you had Columbus go out there, and whenever he set sail, he founded or discovered, and this is what they considered as discovered. Anybody that was not a Christian was considered to be a discovered nation. That was considered to be a discovered land, a discovered territory. All right, so if you wasn't a Christian, then you was considered to be discovered. Okay, so now you got him in 1492. He go out here discover this land, and then a couple of months to a year later, you got Queen Isabella and Ferdinand. They basically made a request to the Pope that they can go out here and discover these lands. And the Pope granted them permission to do so. And also in that, he said that any of the nations that were Christian nations, that they would not be fighting with each other. So basically, they working together. So basically, these people had decided that they was gonna work together, and they would do this by cheating and stealing, and taking whatever they wanted. Man, they had the right to do this by the Pope. Okay, all right, and then you get down here to the when they actually used it in law, man. In 1823, they actually went in there and they had a case against Chief McIntosh, I want to say, I guess so. I'm guessing that's who they were talking about, and Johnson. But the Supreme Court Marshal, this guy had stated during the case, this is what he said. He said that because when they won the war of 1776, when they won that war with the British or whatever, and they got their freedom, so-called, they assumed the rights to the documents of discovery. And that means that they had the powers of dominion over the people, you know. But around this time, this is when they basically made the decision that they're going to push forth, and they got the right to do so. And that's why they was out here trying to explain to people that, hey, you know, this our land, now this our land, this our land. And that's what they do. They implemented Christ onto our people. They hurting our people in the mind, man. They done killed us with it. You know what I mean? But basically, in this section, it basically talks about how they had the right to be the successors of the doctrine of discovery. You hear this being said by the presidents all the time. The law of nations states this and that. Law of nations, law of nations. Well, the law of nations is referring to Christians, and anybody who is a non-Christian is referring to them having the right to do this by ordained powers or whatever, and that they could do this, and that's what the founding fathers based everything off of. Is the right that they had the reason to conquer, man. You know what I mean? So basically, you gotta listen up and keep your eyes and ears open to these key terms, man. You know what I mean? And then you look down here, man. You're gonna this is another thing that I found very interesting, man. Like I encourage y'all to read this whole thing, man. It's a very, very good read, man. You read the whole thing, and you'll get the complete understanding of what it's trying to say, man. I'm just skimming over it and trying to show you a little bit about it. But I'm gonna put it in the description so you'll have a chance to read it. You'll be able to get everything that you need to be able to see out of it, man. Because it's a very, very, very good read, man. It's got some very, very, very important, powerful information in here. I might not be hitting it and getting it like it need to be, man, but y'all need to really check this shit out. All right, now you look at this right here. You see the plenary powers right here. Now, I can't really say that word too good, man. I'm not quite sure how to say it. Plenary powers. But I've heard it a few times, man. You know what I mean? It's just basically saying that they have the right to give these people laws. They have the right to give these people anything else. Their law prevails because they are they say they have plenary powers. Basing it back to the doctrine of discovery. That's what plenary powers means. That's how you tie it all in. That's whenever you hear that, you know they're talking about and referring to the doctrine of discovery, which states that they have the right to do whatever the hell they want to.
Today, if I came over to anyone's house and said, I own your house because I'm Bob Miller, I'm superior to you, my culture is superior to yours, my civilization is superior to yours, I own your house. You would not like that.
Well, the Trail of Death was one of those forced removals that took place and involved approximately 800 people.
I'm sorry, I gotta pause there for a second, man. I just want y'all to look at this crap. See how they gonna put one of these Europeans up here to act like they playing both sides. It's nothing but mockery, man, you know. But this is a pretty good documentary to explain a little bit about the doctrine of discovery. Just keep it and take it with a grain of salt, please. I mean, it makes me sick to my stomach sometimes to just watch these people putting on as if they got so much compassion. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
And there were some like 40 deaths.
In the simplest terms, the doctrine of discovery is the idea under international law that when a European Christian country was the first European to discover new lands, they had a legal right to that area.
I think it's important for Mennonites to know that we were a part of that too. You know, our movement didn't kind of come out of the Catholic Church until the mid-16th century. So this was sort of our story as well.
And what was the change? Because a European with a
Not
flag
sorta,
and a cross
but
had
is.
showed up.
How do we respond to such a doctrine moving towards reconciliation?
I decided that 3 questions get to the heart of what we still need to know. Every white settler ought to know about where I live. Whose land was this before colonization? How did they lose it? By what mechanism and when? And where are their descendants today?
And Rich's, one
Not
of his
him.
drives is, and concerns is that he
That's
and
an
others
American
are
Indian.
living in northern Indiana on what once was Potawatomi turf.
For the most part, Christians ignore the fact that Christians, European Christians, have committed colonial and imperial crimes and violence, also in the name of God and also in the name of religion.
The religion of empire sees humans as centered in the city as given by God to conquer the earth. The religion of creation sees people springing out of the earth as part of the earth as given by God. These come into conflict throughout the entire biblical period. Jesus sides with the religion of creation against the religion of empire.
I personally hope that we as a church can spend time in dialogue with each other, understanding the dynamics that have occurred, the things that have become norms for us that really shouldn't be norms.
As a scientist, if I talk about values, my work is diminished. The only community of people on Earth today that can deal with these structural issues that are global in scale is the ecumenical community. And my question is, where are they?
You know what I mean? Now, basically, man, I found that article when I was looking into, I was reading into Andrew Jackson and what led him to making his decisions.
A national hero or public enemy number one? Historical figures are often controversial, but few were as deified or vilified in their lifetime as the 7th President of the United States. This is History versus Andrew Jackson.
Order. What were we? Yes. Mr. Jackson, you stand accused of degrading the office of the presidency, causing financial collapse, and wanton cruelty against American Indians. How do you plead?
Now, Your Honor, I am not a big city lawyer, but I do know a few things. And I know that President Jackson was a self-made frontiersman, a great general, a real man of the people. Your Honor, this man of the people was a gambler, a drunk, and a brawler. Why, I've heard it said that he would fight at the drop of a hat and then drop the hat himself. I ask you, was such a man fit for the most distinguished office in the nation? Can we forget the debacle of his inauguration? Who ever heard of inviting a drunken mob into the White House? It took ages to get the upholstery clean. That drunken mob, sir, was the American people, and they deserve to celebrate their victory.
Order, order. Now, did this celebration have pie?
Very well. Mr. Jackson, is it not the case that immediately upon assuming office, you introduced the spoils system, replacing hundreds of perfectly good federal employees with incompetent party loyalists? Your Honor, the president did no such thing. He tried to institute rotation in office to avoid any profiteering or funny business. It was the rest of the party who insisted on giving posts to their lackeys. But Mr. Jackson complied, did he not? Now, see here. Moving on. Mr. Jackson, did you not help to cause the financial panic of 1837 and the ensuing economic depression with your obsessive war against the Bank of the United States? Was not vetoing its reauthorization, as you did in 1832, an act of irresponsible populist pandering that made no economic sense? Your Honor, the gentleman has quite the imagination. That bank was just a way for rich Yanks to get richer. And all that money panic was caused when British banks raised interest rates and cut lending. To blame it on the president is preposterous, I say. But if Mr. Jackson had not destroyed the National Bank, it would have been able to lend to farmers and businesses when other credit dried up, would it not?
This is all highly speculative. Can we move on?
Certainly, Your Honor. We now come to Mr. Jackson's most terrible offense, forcing entire tribes out of their native lands via the Indian Removal Act. I resent that accusation, sir. The U.S. of A. bought that land from the Indians fair and square. Do you call coercion and threats by a nation with a far more powerful army fair and square? Or signing a treaty for removing the Cherokee with a small group that didn't include their actual leaders? They didn't even have time to properly supply themselves before the army came and forced them to march the Trail of Tears. Now hold on a minute. This was all Van Buren's doing after President Jackson left office. But Mr. Jackson laid the groundwork and made sure the treaty was ratified. All President Van Buren had to do afterwards was enforce it. Look here, Your Honor. Our government's been purchasing Indian land since the beginning, and my client was negotiating these deals even before he was president. President Jackson truly believed it was best for the Indians to get compensated for their land and move out west, where there was plenty of space for them to keep living the way they were accustomed, rather than stick around and keep butting heads with the white settlers, some of whom, I remind our court, wanted to exterminate them outright. It was a different time. And yet, even in this different time, there were many in Congress and even the Supreme Court who saw how wrong the Removal Act was and loudly opposed it, were there not? My client was under a great deal of pressure. I say, do you think it's easy governing such a huge country and keeping the Union together when states are fixing to nullify federal laws? President Jackson barely got South Carolina to back down over those import tariffs. And then Georgia had to go discover gold and start grabbing up Cherokee land. It was either get the Indians to move or get in another fight with the state government. So you admit that Mr. Jackson sacrificed moral principles to achieve some political goals? I do declare, show me one leader who hasn't. As societies change and morals evolve, yesterday's hero may become tomorrow's villain, or vice versa. History may be past, but our understanding of it is always on trial.
You really got to understand who he was really fighting against, man. These people don't try to hide it. They just really try to mimic and act like it's something else, but it really ain't, you know. But this is something too, man. I'm gonna get back to this, man. I encourage y'all to do that. I'm gonna pick back up this video in a little bit. I'm gonna make a part 3 to this shortly. I'm gonna start back up with this Cherokee Indian war.
Listen to this track, bitch. I'm my best friend, and I'm my worst else can hurt me lest I let them miss you feeling me. And misery loves company. I had my share of misery, no mystery. My infamy got me in hip-hop history. First Tupac died, then Biggie died, and it greatly impacted me. Then history repeated itself to me, and I made history. So I don't turn around no more, I look at what's in front of me. I'm focused on the future, cause yesterday is history. Hard head makes a soft ass, guess your mother didn't teach you that. Pick a spot to beef with me, and that spot I will meet you at. But let me check my schedule, on free Tuesday 3 weeks from now. You bring your crew, I bring my crew, just pick a time inside of town. Zone 6 is my stomping ground, but I guess you know that by now. But everywhere you go, you hear me, that's why you're upset right now. Bought a phantom and a lamp, but I'm in my vid right now. I rate the game without a rubber bank account, so pray me now. That day they tried to murder me, a day I can't forget about it. And I don't wish no death on homie, just want him to hear me out. Think about the past and all the many things we talked about. Think of all the people influenced by what comes out of mouth. I'm my best friend, and I'm my worst enemy. And no one else can hurt me lest I let them miss you feeling me. And misery loves company. I had my share of misery, no mystery. My infamy got me in hip-hop history. First Tupac died, then Biggie died, and it greatly impacted me. Then history repeated itself to me, and I made history. So I don't turn around no more, I look at what's in front of me. I'm focused on the future, cause yesterday is history. I am not the perfect person, may don't spit the perfect verses. I wouldn't hurt a girl on purpose, cause I feel they don't deserve it. I admit my words can hurt her this time, that she didn't deserve it. A song got her, didn't interpret it right, and I'm sorry for it. T.I. many times encouraged, told me face the game with courage. Clay gave me some great advice, and still today I'm thankful for it. Me, G.Z. and T.I. share one thing in common, all are poets. Role models to young people, though at times, man, we still ignore it. And y'all don't owe respect to me, and I don't like apologies. Just dismiss till you satisfied, I swear it doesn't bother me. Sticks and stones will break my bones, and bullets won't reflect off me. But words and insults only show the world how y'all respected me. I'm my best friend, and I'm my worst enemy. And no one else can hurt me lest I let them miss you feeling me. And misery loves company. I had my share of misery, no mystery. My infamy got me in hip-hop history. First Tupac died, then Biggie died, and it greatly impacted me. Then history repeated itself to me, and I made history. So I don't turn around no more, I look at what's in front of me. I'm focused on the future, cause yesterday is history. All my homies ain't my homies, have my friends no longer want me. I'm still hungry as I was when I did my first live performance. Things I got, I know they want it. Things I've done, they haven't done it. Though they say that they my friends, I know that these niggas opponents. We can joke and laugh and party, but I know their smiles are phony. But I still pray that the Lord gives them all the things they wanted. All the money in the world can give the joy unfitting, homie. Like the third day with a woman like you and not for your money. You can help someone and love someone, but still they'll turn and burn you. So I warn you in advance, watch out, cause so-called friends will con you. Think MJG said it best, when will I ever know who's my friend through thick and thin? Cause so-called friends and turn to foes. I'm my best friend, and I'm my worst enemy. And no one else can hurt me lest I let them miss you feeling me. And misery loves company. I had my share of misery, no mystery. My infamy got me in hip-hop history. First Tupac died, then Biggie died, and it greatly impacted me. Then history repeated itself to me, and I made history. So I don't turn around no more, I look at what's in front of me. I'm focused on the future, cause yesterday